Welcome back to Precision Trader University. Today's video, once again, I want to show you how to use the most powerful tool in the stock market, the Bookmap. All right, Bookmap, for anybody that's not aware, this tool allows you to see where all your major liquidity is sitting in the stock market, major buyers and sellers sitting in the market looking to get filled. And once you know how to use this tool, in essence, it's going to figuratively help you to see where the market is literally handing out money, and you just got to make sure you're there to pick it up. So with that said, we're going to use a play today that we took advantage of in the server. We played this in real time. Like I've mentioned before, my preference is always to use stuff that we played in real time versus the hypothetical stuff. Now, we can find a ton of plays that during the week that we just didn't have the time to take advantage of, but yeah, like I said, I always give these priority first and foremost. So with that said, COF, Capital One was what we were looking at today. And of course, the first things first, when you get into Bookmap, the first thing you want to know is, where's my major liquidity? Okay. All right. In this case, we know we got major liquidity sitting at 110. And again, major liquidity is something that you can see. You can see orange. You can see an orange band on the $5 increment. Okay. $5 increments. So if you come in here to these $5 increments, all right, 5, 10, 15, 20, and you can see orange there, now you know you're dealing with major liquidity. This is a major level. Now, and when it gets there, that ultimately we have three strategies, Bookmap strategies we can use that we're absolutely going to be able to take advantage of the free money at these levels. So now the question is, how do you find COF in the first place? Because this it just doesn't magically pop up for you whenever you open Bookmap. So how do you go about finding? So that's the other piece of the puzzle. So with that said, let's flip over to the scan central here. All right, so you should be able to see it now. All right. Ooh, okay. Now on the right side we have 2-minute chart, and on the left side we have the 2-minute chart. The right side we have the daily chart. Now, primary indicators, of course, we have our indicator course indicators on the course. From the course on the left side, all of those. We have our monster moving averages on the right side from the course as well. Also, another thing we have on the course is an ATR. Okay, give this to you. This is nothing fancy here. This is just a plain Jane ATR. You adjust the 14, okay, the 14 down to 1, because we want to be able to see the individual days. We don't want to see a range. We want to see exactly what those individual days did. So with that said, so we now, again, this is first things first, is you got to scan to find it. So with that said, we look at our top 3 here on our scanner. These are our columns that we use to be able to scan for. Very basic here, nothing fancy. Save your column so you don't have to keep updating it every time. With that said, COF, we see COF is in the top 3. Now, why does it get priority? Because anything 200 million or below, all right, we know that we have to be a little bit more careful with those, and we would prefer to play stuff with 200 and above, but in certain situations we'll play something with 200 or below on float. But again, priority wise, we're going to take 200 and above, because again, we know that this is stuff that's going to really just follow the rules just very, very easily. There's not going to be a lot of because the lower the float goes, I mean, I'm sure most of y'all wear this, the lower the float goes, the more that they can just take advantage of it and start moving things around very sporadically. So anyway, with that said, COF is our stock of choice. So we click on it, pops up here. Now, as soon as we do, we're going to bring it over to the daily, and what sticks out to us on the daily. So, all right, first and foremost, they just had earnings. Okay, so we have to pay attention to that. So we're looking for previous earnings dates, right around earnings. So here we had a $9 day around this earnings. We had around a $7 day here, and then we're also looking for just crazy outlier days considering its earning. So we had a $13 day here. We had a $10 day here. So that right there tells me that, hey, COF can absolutely do around $9 to $12, around this earnings date. So I want to keep that in mind. That helps me to see what is this stock's potential in this area, because I know that more times than not, whenever he gets around the upper ends of those potentials, I mean, there's literally going to be free money to be had in those areas. So with that in mind, I understand that, okay, I got this, I'm looking for anywhere from a $9 to $12 move potential on this day. So with that in mind, I flip over into the intraday chart. All right, I'll turn all the indicators off here for a second. We're going to remove the scanner down, get that out of our way, and see what's going on here. So we see that they started the day, they held support on 104. 104, they started popping up. And again, remember, we saw major liquidity in Bookmap on 110 and 115. That was the two monster levels for us. So we know that when it gets into those levels, okay, there's free money to be had. So with that said, well, let's see what happens. So they pump it up. Let's see. Well, let's just fast forward to get to 110 because we know that was a major spot. So we see here they get to 110, or actually they get to 110 close to here. All right, around 110 here, bam, they dump back close to 109. That's a very predictable pullback there, close to that $10 increment. But again, you got to keep in mind they're only $5-6 into this move. So you still know that the potential for them to get to $9 to $12 is absolutely still there. So, and again, what's going to be around that $9 to $12 range? 215. All right. So 215 is, that's the big spot. And again, we saw it. We saw 215 major liquidity on Bookmap. So again, we know that's a big spot. So with that said, they end up pumping all the way up to close to 215. So they get it just up underneath it. SPY ends up topping out at a very key level. We also traded SPY ES for a beautiful setup today. This right here on this top right here was the exact top that we played SPY ES as well. So it was, these two went together perfectly. So with that said, we got a beautiful dump all the way back down to into the 119s. Mention that, hey, if you have any runners, you have to be taking those under 113. All right. So we took the majority, half or more below 114, and then the rest, any runners below 113. So beautiful trade there. So again, just a prime example of understanding, hey, I got monster liquidity up here. When it gets there, we're going to take advantage of our SML strategy. Again, we're shorting SML, short major liquidity. Okay, so we're identifying major liquidity and we're playing that free pullback money whenever it gets into that area. They gave you some at 110, but again, 115 was the big spot based on the ATR. And again, understanding that, hey, we're right around earnings right here, so we know that is absolutely a possibility to get into that range. And of course, too, whenever we throw all the indicators from the course back on, we got our major algos here. Again, these are absolutely institutions, big money trading levels here. So we know that these are also high liquidity areas. So prime example here, they get through, they pull back support, they break away from it, go up to the next level, pull back. This was part of the reason why too we were looking to take profit, some major profit in this area, was because of this pullback into this major algo here. We did not want to be in a situation where they pull it back into here, find a ton of buyers, and then blast it back up, which they did. So anyway, so this is a prime example why we'd love to use algos for our scaling in, if we need to get in a little bit early, because there's a major algo right in front of for example, if there'd have been a major algo sitting here at 114, we'd have really, really prioritized, 114 over the 115 level, at least a portion of the entry. So, because again, whenever we're entering stuff, pretty much our rule of thumb is we're taking half positions at SML spots, okay, and then we're taking another half position if we get to the push through spots. So anyway, if you're not familiar with those strategies, the push through strategy, the SML strategy, and the momentum on liquidity, watch previous videos. I actually just did a little mini course not too long ago on Bookmap. So just to also to flip it right back over to Bookmap, just as a reminder what this looked like on Bookmap. Same thing here. We get the push earlier to 110, pull back close to 109 at the major 110 liquidity. Again, major liquidity, we can see it in there. And then eventually they make their way up to 115 or 114. They had nice liquidity sitting there at 114. They dump off of 114 and end up pulling it after it. They almost get just under 115 here, and then they end up dumping it back to our entry or our reminder to make sure we take profit there below 113. So Anyway, and then eventually they punch it right back up to 115. They get right into the 115 liquidity. Again, this is a situation where I couldn't have blamed you for wanting to get this again because they failed just short of it earlier. You know, they only got up to 114.60, 114.70. So this was a situation where, hey, I couldn't have blamed you because they fell short of it last time to be sitting there right there at 115 when they came back up here again. And then they end up dumping all the way back into the 113s again. And yeah, so nice $1.50 dump there. And then they punch it right back up into 115. Buyers come in right there in the 113.60 area. And now they finally absorbed the majority of them. And now they're still continuing. They're trying to get to this 116 level. So it's past our no more trading time of the day. So not really looking to play it. But hey, if you're just dying for a play, yeah, this is literally something that you're wanting to enter. Yep, you're wanting to enter this right here around one. Okay, yeah, that's the entry zone right there. 115.80s, pretty much 115.75 to 116. That's the sweet spot for. And again, this would be the push through spot. Okay, so yeah, so you're gonna expect this to come here, and then bam, they're gonna want to suck this back into 115, around 115. You know, have some very high probability money there, and then yeah, at that point it'll be a make or break at 115, and then may end up just chopping around there for a good chunk of the rest of the day. So anyway, that's it. I don't want to bore you sitting here watching this do its thing, but again, like I said, your expectation here, and then bam, back to around 115, and then from there it'll be a make or break. It's either they'll do their best to hold and chop around there, or they can absolutely start falling through the floor back to 110 today. So that said, they're pulling back as we speak. So anyway, like I said, this one's tempting. It's tempting to jump on the broker and play this one, but anyway, like I said, fast no more trading time of the day. So we like I said, we stick to that rule. So after the first 3.5 hours of the day, yep, that does it for us. So anyway, with that said, appreciate everybody getting the time to watch the video. Thank you for the ones that made it all the way to the end, and hope you have a good rest of your day.